1988 was a pretty good year for action films. We had Die Hard, Rambo 3, Red Heat, even missing an Action 3. It was also the year that Steven Seagal became a movie star with Above the Law. When the film first came out, there were rumours that it was loosely based on his life prior to getting into the movie industry. To this day, he will neither confirm nor deny whether he was in. Apparently his wife said he never was. Former wife, I guess. Was he really a CIA spook? Well, time seems to have answered that question, but in 1988, Seagal did nothing to stop these rumours from spreading. There is some truth to the opening scenes of the movie, however. Seagal did in fact go to Japan, and he did run his own Aikido dojo, allegedly the first non-Japanese person to have done so. And at the time he was a 7th Dan black belt in Aikido, which is pretty impressive. The way Seagal moved, it was unlike anything seen in previous action films, and it really propelled him into the A-League. He also had a certain look that was completely different to all the other action stars at the time. He was tall, he was lanky, and he seemed to strut more than he walked. Complete contrast to, the Stallones and the Schwarzeneggers and I guess Chuck Norris. Who else? Van Damme to a degree. Above the Law tells the story of Nico Toscani, an ex-CIA operative who served in a black ops team in Vietnam. After witnessing the torture go too far, Nico intervenes and makes a lifelong enemy out of Seige, who's played by Henry Silva. Does a really good job, quite menacing. So, cut to 88, and Nico now works for the Chicago police, whilst having family ties to the local mafia. His partner Jax, played by Pam Grier, only has a matter of weeks to go before she leaves the police to become a district attorney. And you can already see where that's headed. When he discovers a plot to import drugs into the city, and Nico and his team set up an undercover operation to capture the drug dealers. But just as the bust is about to take place, the FBI turn up. But not before Nico discovers C4 explosive hidden in an engine block. The FBI release the drug smugglers, however, and this leads to Nico investigating further on his own, and soon discovering an assassination attempt on a local senator. It also turns out the assassination team is Nico's old war buddies from the CIA, including Seige. Jax is shot, predictably, and Nico captured by Seige, who drugs him whilst they prepare for the assassination. But the drugs are no match for Seagal, who kicks his way free, kills Seige and the rest of his team. The acting's not bad in this film. Being his first acting role, Seagal does a pretty good job. His body language always seems to be ready for confrontation, but he gets emotions across in some of the quieter scenes, involving his family and friends. This includes a very underused Sharon Stone playing his wife, which in fact was just prior to her big break in Total Recall in 1990. Soundtrack's nothing to talk about. It sounded like a session band practicing during most of the scenes. Nothing is memorable. I really enjoyed this film when it was first released. Seagal was an action hero like no other, and he had moves that we would talk about for hours. The action scenes are excellent, but some of the quieter scenes could have been dropped. In saying that, it does show Seagal's character is more than just an action man, so I guess they do deserve their place. Steven Seagal went on to make a few more action blockbusters, culminating in Under Siege in 1992. After that, it seems the gloss wore off. Marked as difficult to work with, along with a few duds, Looking at You on Deadly Ground, meant most of his future work went straight to video. I revisit Seagal from time to time, and quite frankly, I don't know what's happened to him. He was never going to be A-League, but some of his output's pretty terrible. Above the Law, it's a great introduction to Seagal and really shows him at his best, and is worth a watch if you're a martial arts and or action fan. There's actually been a bit of movement in regard to a sequel being filmed. IMDb has the film listed but nothing else, so I'm not really too sure what's going on there. If he lost some weight, did a bit more Aikido in his movies instead of just shooting people, I reckon, he could be back up there again.
You guys think you're above the law. Well, you ain't above mine.